So it's Thursday, December the 30th, 2021, and I come to you from a very empty space, our sanctuary where our decorations for Advent and then into Christmas a little bit have been removed. And this sixth day of Christmas, where the song says, 6 geese a laying, I wonder what you're laying this day, those eggs of hope and promise of what we are creating next as we attempt and seek to linger in this idea of Christmas, of the Christ child being born amongst us, within us, emerging from us. I know the way that this holiday season has unfolded and how it's laid out on the calendar, that for many among us this week has been a week to clean, to take down all the decorations, to vacuum, and to imagine the next year, the new year. So I invite you to really be intentional about that. This Sunday, on the second day of January in the new year 2022, our time together will be one of intentionality. You will have a plethora of options, more than you can do, so that you can choose the one that is right for you. Not knowing who will show up or who will need what, we will attempt to have a nice platter of options and opportunities for you to really reflect back on 2021 as we notice where we are right now and then heading into this new year. So on the 2nd of January, if you show up here at 11 o'clock, the space will look very similar to this. It may have a few more adornments in it. And there will be stations set up around this space and possibly into the foyer and even possibly out the door onto the lawn for you to have some time to literally spend reflecting. What is your spirit offering to you? What is your spirit's home right now? Where is it finding nourishment? And possibly where is the Spirit beckoning you next? So I invite you to come and join with us on the 2nd of January. And if you're unable to be here live and in person because of your own callings of Omicron, or maybe you live hundreds of miles away, or you need to be by yourself, know that there will be options for you on a video for you to have some intentionality about your own time of reflection as we move into this new year. On the 9th of January, the successive Sunday, we will celebrate Star Sunday here as we start a new series. And right now it's either going to be called very simply To Life, which in the Jewish understanding is L'chaim. And I didn't say that right because I didn't do it in the back of my throat enough, L'chaim. We're in our understandings of our foundation within Jewishness, Judaism, which is the foundation of Christianity. It really is, how do we know life in this very moment? And for me, that's where we need to be asking those questions. Because we know that COVID is going to be with us. The SARS virus has been with us. It will be with us. And so in this very time, how do we continue to show up and to live into the very sacredness and holiness of life that we are given in our moments of breath and living? Then, as we move forward into the new year, we will spend some time on this, asking these questions of what do we cast seeds? What do we plant? Who do we stand up for? How do we understand those roles of being together in community? What does it mean that we're called a wise congregation? We haven't really even tapped into that. And so we're going to take a few more layers down into the depth of what it might mean to be really a wise congregation. And where's our next steps on that journey? We approved and accepted a relational covenant. So how do we need to be trained? How do we need to really rub up against ourselves and it and one another to truly understand the word covenant as we are called to be in community with one another? So here again, the word reflect. Our really charge, I think, right now is to reflect onto this, these times, this life that we have been given, and to really notice where we go next. So with that said, I hope you will join me and join us on this journey to ask those questions, to possibly offer honest truth for you about what that looks like, what that sounds like. Is there challenge? Is there the need for rest? How do we renew our faith so that we continue to know a resiliency and a strength to move forward, such that we can rejoice together and find joy in the moments of creation, of breathing in and out air, of knowing when we have been given a shelter and a community that loves us and that wants us to belong to it? Can we live into that joy of belonging to something greater than ourselves? So if that's the journey that is beckoning to you, I invite you to join us on it. A few brief announcements, just to know, make sure that we're continuing in the loop of being in community here. This is our last week to collect diapers. And the word on the street is they'll probably not be taken until next Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday. And so if you want to still bring diapers here, know that we are still collecting them. You're welcome to leave them right outside the portico door. Or if you need the code to pop them inside the foyer, please let me know. And also know that your new council, which we commissioned a few Sundays ago on the 8th, they will meet together for a time of retreat, where truly they will begin to do some role play and some work of how we will live into a relational covenant. And to really, as we get further, closer to our anniversary in August, where we will celebrate bringing 20 years of church together, well, we will begin to assess and to look into what are these years offered to us, and what do we build on top of this foundation of 20 years. So that retreat will happen on the 8th. If you want to be a part of planning and thinking about and celebrating our 20-year anniversary, if you would be in touch with me, I will get you in touch with the people that are creating those plans and are having some excitement about that. If there are things bubbling up for you you need to chat about or talk about, I trust that you will be in touch. Until next week, I bid you adieu. See you next week.